This is Orc Buster. It's a browser-based tower defense game, and so we can jump in here. We can select from a couple different classes. The gunner, which I imagine is just pretty much the archer, but with bullets. You have your mage, of course, and you have the knight. So this is your hero character, and they all have their own unique, cool looking look, I believe, or I would say. And I guess they have different levels of difficulty. I'm wondering what that's all about, because typically these kind of games focus on your towers rather than the hero. But maybe that's just like it ramps up the difficulty of even the enemies. So we're starting with, the standard, of course, the knight. I always go for the knight. The knight's the best. You can't beat the knight. So this is browser based. So I came into this not expecting a lot, and immediately we got hit with that metal, man. That was pleasantly surprising. I love when games kind of go away from the most generic medieval theme with I don't know, flutes, I don't know, violins. I don't know. It's instead go for a much more rockin' beat that we've got here. So I was kind of confused at first because I knew this is tower defense, but I don't see any towers, right? And so right now they're just trying to teach you how to use your hero, dude. I thought it was gonna be like an adventure where you kind of click around the map and go from map to map, but no, this is a one set screen that we've got here. And there's my tower, my lovely tower. And controlling your hero is quite good. It's just as simple as click where you want them to go. It's all very smooth. The controls in this game are all pretty good. The graphics are actually surprisingly well done, and even the animation is actually pretty good. A lot better than most browser-based games. A lot of them try to circumvent more animation frames to get a higher graphical fidelity, and this game does a nice mix of both. So you see here, oh no, I'm not going to get this guy, he's too fast. Oh well, that's too bad. So I'm just going to come out and say it. This is pretty much a direct rip off of Kingdom Rush. If you have not played Kingdom Rush, it's actually probably a good thing. Because this is pretty much exactly that. Down to, just everything. But that's not a big deal. That's not the problem. That's not the point. But if you have played Kingdom Rush, you probably won't enjoy this too much, since Kingdom Rush is pretty much a direct upgrade of this, even though this came after the fact. But anyway. So you have all the different kind of towers. You have the Archer Towers, okay, I'll explain this one. The Archer Tower, is the damage per second. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but, it's a steady amount. You have your Bombing Tower up there in the top left. That's going to be, AoEing down your enemies. You have the Mage Tower, which I think is for high defense enemies. I'm not completely certain on that. I usually just build one of each, and that usually lets you pass the level. And then you have what was the last one? Oh yeah, you have your guard post, where you send out a couple guys to try and stall the enemy a little bit. So so the tower surrounding it have time to throw down some artillery. So one difference from Kingdom Rush is that this game does the very topical the word of typical browser MMORPGs, where it's you click on this right thing and then it pops up a box that says claim, right? And then you go into an upgrade screen, you do pointless upgrades to go on the ever gear grind kind of thing. And also you see that a lot where it kind of pixelizes in. That's so weird to me. So we're going to go through here. We're going to go through, the different maps. And it's very similar to Kingdom Rush, like I said before. This is our actual first level. Very colorful, very pretty. This whole game is very aesthetically pleasing. If I had one complaint, I don't like how small the gameplay window is. By default. I guess I could zoom in with my browser, but that's pretty inconvenient. There should be an option to full screen it or something like that, and that would be really nice. So of course I'm going to build all these towers. I'm not actually entirely certain if there's any gate on how many you can build. Any kind of currency to stop you from building too much or whatever. I don't know. As much as I played it, I never ran into an issue with money. And these early levels, of course, are pretty easy. You just kind of you can click the waves to come in immediately. You have your god powers, right, where you just kind of calm down. They're on a cooldown. But other than that, you want to calm them down as much as possible. So like I come back here and I just build all the towers without a care in the world. There's nothing getting past me today, boys. Nothing getting past me. So your hero, I guess this knight is kind of the guy who is like the guard post. Actually, you know what? Is every hero like a manifestation of a certain tower? That actually makes a lot of sense. I know there was an archer, and archer is archer. The mage is the mage. The knight is the guard post. But the gunner, is the gunner the bomb? Actually, that would make a lot of sense. I didn't even notice that the first go around. So like I said, you go back into these screens, you upgrade pointless upgrades on this colorful looking, beautiful world. It's all very pretty. This is one thing that really did well is the asset decoration. Like this map looks really nice. It's incredibly varied. These loading screens are really great too. It reminds me of like a very chibi form of the Guild Wars 2 wallpaper loading screens. So it's all nicely done. And of course, you got this rocking soundtrack again. This is actually a game where I didn't completely turn off the sound like I do with most games. Like most of the time, I just kind of listen to a podcast as I kind of barrel through some of these, very generic games. But this one actually impressed me. It's pretty good, especially for a browser-based MMORPG. A lot of these games are very mobile. They want you to play it on a mobile device. Which makes sense. I mean, that's where the market is. But they try something a little bit different. So you got these big old guys coming in. You can just meter them. They die almost immediately. So far, from what I played, you never had to really do any kind of strategy. It's actually pretty... Like, Kingdom Rush is immediately difficult. Like, you're, very quickly losing health across the board. Micromanaging resources is a big part of that game, and I didn't feel like this one really did that. Maybe it's just intentionally casual so they can kind of pick up the remnants of people who didn't play Kingdom Rush or thought it was too difficult to get into. So that's okay. I mean, games can be casual if they're going to be casual. That's not a big deal. I'm not really going to knock it for that, for being less strategically or tactical dependent. It's not. But as you see there, I got double S rank. I'm gonna get S ranks forever. Never gonna stop getting S ranks, man. So there's some kind of backing story or something. I don't know. I don't pay attention to any of these stories. They're never worth listening to. I remember the dialogue at the beginning of the game was just awful. It was like, I must destroy the orcs, and then the orcs were like, "Let's go, team." So yeah, you don't need to waste your time reading the dialogue. It's all garbage. Which is unfortunate. Also, another neat thing, even though they kind of restrict you to this small window, it does have a nice presentation around it. Yeah, this border, the Orc Buster at the top, and then you have the wallpaper in the background that's kind of the same color. It all blends very well, and I actually got into playing very, very quickly. I think I went to the website, registered, and it was playing, a couple minutes tops. It all loaded pretty well. Oh, yeah, this is where the game actually broke for me. So I think what it was is that I actually leveled up my strength. And they wanted you to level up your endurance. And I think some kind of bug happened there where there's some kind of mismatch of story triggers or whatever, and I think I had to restart the game, which is crazy that would happen. Like someone didn't test that maybe someone would just kind of spam click, and then it kind of takes me away from my screen. Don't want it. But yeah, this is weird. So it's a bit of a bug. Watch out for that. I actually have to restart completely now, but whatever. I'll just go play Kingdom Rush, to be honest. But overall, it is pretty great. I put it an 8. It's one of the better browser-based, I almost said MMORPG. It's one of the better browser-based games that you might want to try out. It's got a plethora of menus and upgrades and everything. It doesn't hit you over the head with microtransactions like a lot of games of this do. But anyway, it's pretty good. You should try it out. But that is it. Thanks for watching.